I done seen these streets eat the best of niggas and teach the rest of niggas. If God willing every time, I'm gonna blame my nigga. I remember I had...
Yo, YouTube family, what the fuck going on out there? Just coolin', man, myself, man, trying to put things together, trying to make it and maintain out here, man, in this free world. Yeah, it's been a minute since I made a video, man. I need to put out more content for y'all, man. I've been super busy trying to grow and expand my business endeavors. As y'all know, I've been doing a little house flipping. I got about 2 under my belt so far. The market kind of changing, you know, the economy is kind of making a pivot, kind of a downfall, trying to keep everything together. It hasn't really hit Birmingham. I'm out here in Birmingham. It really hasn't struck Birmingham as bad as it has other places. It has slowed down a little bit as far as houses being on the market for a slightly longer time than they were, you know, this past summer. Whereas this past summer, a house would be on the market 7 days at the most. Now it's up to like close to a month. You know, you can expect the house to be on the market. So it really hasn't hit us that bad, but you still have to kind of walk softly and tread carefully as you make your investments, man. But anyway, so I'm dealing with that. Just trying to maintain, but I'm good. I'm in a good situation. Definitely enjoying my freedom, man. I've been doing a lot of traveling. Got my passport recently. Went to Dominican Republic. I was able to experience that. I went to Africa. I went to Morocco. That's technically in Africa. And that was a beautiful experience. You know, I'm Muslim. So to be able to go to an Islamic country was, man, that was amazing, bro. Like, that just felt, it just felt right, man, being among Muslims in the Islamic country, you know, listening to the call to prayer, the adhan being called throughout the city streets, and everybody just warm-hearted and sincere. You know, somebody smiles at you, they don't know you, you see a stranger and they say hello or whatever, and they smile at you, you can feel the sincerity and the genuineness. You know what I mean? The whole vibe is just different, man. Dominican Republic was cool too. I didn't really get to do everything that I wanted to do because we had me and my friend that I went with, we had some mishaps that happened the first day we got there. He had some money issues where he had lost his debit card and whatever, something like that. And he wasn't able to really enjoy Dominican the way that we should have, but we still had a decent little time. It was a good experience. But anyway, on to the topic for the day. Today's topic, I'm talking about extortion in prison and being extorted in prison. So if you don't know or you're not really familiar with extortion is basically like, normally extortion is a muscle. You know what I mean? You get muscled into being extorted. But there's different levels of extortion. Normally, it's with the gangs, you know, the Blood Gang, Crip Gang, GDs, and whatever. They'll push up on a civilian inmate, somebody who's not with nobody, and they like, look, you need to pay us every week X amount of dollars, or else we gon' make some trouble for you. You know what I mean? We gon' beat you up, or we gonna make it real hard for you to live in this dorm. You know what I mean? Basically, you paying for protection against us. You know what I mean? That's the main form of extortion. But you also have another level, another degree of extortion, which is something that I actually went through. Is a very subtle form of extortion, but I still consider it extortion. So you have a more subtle form where a more powerful, stronger group is kind of befriending you. They're befriending you because they want to utilize something that you have. Normally, it's a phone. Or you got a way. You got a way to get contraband in. You got a way to get drugs in, get weed in, get phones in, and you get money. And the gang, the head leaders of gangs will kind of befriend you, and they won't just come out and say, hey, you need to cut us in on this, or you need to let us use your phone, or else. They don't really come like that. It's more of a subtle approach where they, we cool, boom, boom, hey, but hey, let me goddamn, let me get in where I fit in and you move, or let me use your phone every now and then, for a couple hours a day, whatever, just because we cool, we friends. But really, the intention is, what they saying, like, man, look, bro, you need to goddamn fuck with me, or else goddamn shit gonna go left. You feel me? So you kind of reading between the lines, and that was a more sort of form of extortion that I experienced. Pretty much in one situation, one scenario that I can recall. So during this time, this was like 2017, 2018 or something like that. Was I still at Telfair? Yeah, I was still at Telfair. Telfair is the name of a maximum security, level 5 security, close security prison. As I told y'all in previous videos, in Georgia, the level 5 close security prisons, those are the worst prisons, only like 5 of them. And those are the worstest places that you want to find yourself at. That's where it's shit finna go down damn near every day. Fucking stabbings, fights, mainly stabbings. Niggas ain't doing too much fight. Niggas pulling niggas ass out. That my little fucking cat running around, man. If y'all hear that motherfucker in the background making all that noise and shit, I'm finna go lock his ass up in the room somewhere. But so to dive a little deeper into the scenario, it was a very tense scenario. It was a very crazy situation because I was in a dorm, and it was one of the worst dorms. This is one of the worst dorms at one of the worst camps, one of the worst prisons in Georgia. So at Telfair, the camp was divided like this. You got dormitories. Each dormitory has 2 buildings. Well, each building has 2 dormitories. So if you got D building, you have D1 on this side, D2 on this side. If you got E building, you got E1 on this side, E2 on this side, and etc. So Telfair was set up like this: A building, B building, C building, D building. And E building was solitary. That was the whole. If you in E building, you in solitary, the whole, whatever. So A building, B building was the cool, laid back dorms. Those were the dorms where you want to be at. A building and B building. A1, A2, B1, B2. That's where things, especially A building. A1, A2, that's like old guys, couple of young guys. Nothing really is ever gonna happen. If anything ever happens in those buildings, it's probably because something happened with the Bloods and GDs in D building, and that shit just spread all throughout the camp, and something happened in A building because of what happened in D building. You feel me? But then you had C building and D building. And C building and D building was 2 buildings you ain't wanna really be in them dorms, like. And that's where I was at. I was in C building at first, and then I went to D building. So I'm in D1 or D2, I can't remember. I was in D building at this particular time, and we didn't have no real warrior dudes in within the Muslims. All right. So, the Bloods might got 30, 40 guys. And out of them 30, 40 guys, 15, 20 of them is some real warrior niggas ready and that's really about that action that's really gonna goddamn fuck something up. Same with the GDs. The GDs probably got 20, 30 guys. Out of them 20, 30 guys, you probably got 10, 15 guys that's about that action that's gonna handle that business. Crips, you never really have a whole lot of Crips. You probably would have 5 or 10 Crips in any given dorm, in any given prison. There's really not a lot of Crips. Mexicans, usually a small group. You probably only got like 5, 7 of them. But one thing I'm gonna tell you about the motherfucking Mexican. I'm gonna tell you something about the motherfucking Mexican right now. Mexicans, it might only be 6, 7 of them motherfuckers. But get what? Every last one of them 6, 7 motherfuckers finna goddamn murk your ass. Boy, they finna goddamn murder your ass. They finna murder something. They ain't playing with you. Like, Bloods, GD, Muslim, yeah, they come with their little knives and they'll poke something, they'll poke something. The Mexicans gonna put that shit in your life. The Mexicans goddamn finna try to take your motherfucking head off, boy. That's one thing I can say about them. But anyway, it wasn't nothing. We had like 7 or 8 Muslims, bro. And that's pretty typical with the Muslims at most prisons and most dorms. It's very rare that you have more than like 15 Muslims, bro. It's very rare that you have like 15 Muslims. And sometimes I like to have smaller number Muslims, because if it's only 5 or 6 of us, then that's less people that I got to deal with and worry about. You know what I mean? The more Muslims, if you got 15, 20 Muslims in the dorm, out of them 20 Muslims, 15, 16, 17 of them is some bullshit Muslim guys that still want to gang bang, still want to be thugging, still finna be into all type of fuck shit. That's gonna bring you into some fuck shit. You a Muslim trying to live your religion, trying to get through your time peacefully. But this stupid ass nigga right here done goddamn stole some shit. That ain't got nothing to do with you, but now they want to kill this nigga. So now you gotta goddamn get your shit on to goddamn defend this nigga type shit. Like, yeah. But the only drawback to having just 4 or 5 Muslims is that make y'all real vulnerable. But normally, if y'all just stay in your lane, mind y'all business, people ain't really gonna too much fuck with the Muslims. Too tough. Alright. But so it was like 7 or 8 of us. It probably was like 8 of us. I can't remember. It was something like that. And out of the 8 of us, we only had 2. We had 2 main niggas that was some real shooters. That was some real niggas who could fight good. Who was big and swole. And everybody knew them. They knew that they gonna fuck something up. We only had 2 of them. One of them was a dude from Jersey. They either called him Jersey or his Muslim name was Rakib. And he was a good friend of mine. He actually was the security chief for the Muslims all over the compound. At this time, I was the assistant imam over the whole compound at Telfair. I was the second. I was the second in command over the whole compound at this particular time. So me and him were good friends. And he was a good fighter. He used to train with the boxing and shit, but he'll really beat your ass for real. And there was another guy from New York. And I can't remember his name. But he was from New York, and he was a big solid, one of them big swole solid motherfuckers, and he was a known fighter, dude. Matter of fact, he actually used to compete in kung fu matches and shit out on the street, before he got locked up. But he was known for beating people ass. Those were the only 2. Everybody else, the other 5 or 6 people, including myself, were like mediocre, just mediocre guys. And some of us was like just straight babies. When chain gang, we call them babies. A baby is just like, you a little guy, you short, you skinny, you ain't finna bust a grape, you know what I mean, and you not really good for nothing if it comes to a fight. Then you have average guys like myself that's like, okay, we don't really know what Shakir gonna do. We don't really know what he's capable of, but he tall, you know what I mean? And he could probably, fight a little bit. You put a knife in his hand, he probably goddamn do what he can. You feel me? That just me being real. But so we just had two main niggas. Now, it was this white boy, this Muslim white dude named Brock. And Brock was a big money hustler dude. Like, he had a lot of money. He was sitting on like $120,000. And in chain gang, bro, if you sitting on if you sitting on $10,000 in chain gang, you chain gang rich. If you sitting on $5,000 in chain gang, you talking about something. So this dude was sitting on like $140,000. He was a big meth guy. He would get ice in, he would get meth in, and that's not something that Muslims supposed to do in chain gang. But you'll kind of allow it, you know what I mean, because this person is going to be taking care of the community, the Muslim community. So it's kind of a slippery slope, It's like, you dealing meth, but at the same time, you paying the imams like myself, you paying the security teams, you making sure everybody's straight, you know what I mean? So it's kind of hard because we need that, we need, you buying knives, you buying artillery and spreading them out to the dorms throughout the camp, making sure all the dorms got weapons and shit. Like, we need that shit. So it's kind of hard to really bash a dude like that until they really just started getting in too much trouble. But so a white dude named Brock. Brock came into the dorm. Everybody loved Brock. Gang members loved him, because he used to bless people. The Muslims loved him, you know what I mean? He gonna buy books. He gonna order books online. Big series of books, Islamic books, volumes of books. And, he gonna order them and he gonna distribute them to the dorm. We need books, we need weapons, we need food. You know what I mean? And those are the three things that he, would try to contribute. So he came into the dorm, and when he came into the dorm, he had 3 phones. You know what I mean? It's one thing for you to have one phone in chain gang. You somebody if you got one phone. But you really, really a boss nigga if you got 3 phones. So he had 3 phones, and he would let the gang members use one. He would let, his friends use them. He would let us use one. The Muslims, we would rotate one phone and whatever. So one day he up and got transferred because somebody had tried to fly a drone. That was one of the way that people would get phones into prison. They would have their friends on the outside put together these little packs, and then they would get the people on the outside to fly a drone. Attach these packs to the drone and fly them over the fence, and then drop the packs off at designated areas where somebody can go and retrieve the packs. So somebody somewhere on the compound had got caught trying to fly a drone. The drone got caught by the police, by the guards. And, the warden and all them, they didn't know that Brock had anything to do with this. I don't know if Brock had anything to do with it or not. I don't think he did. But just knowing who Brock is, they know that this is your MO. Like the guards know that Brock got a lot of money and shit. They came and snatched him up just from his reputation, and they transferred him to another prison. But when they came and got him, of course you don't know they coming to get him. When they came and got him, they took him. He couldn't tell nobody nothing. All right, so we got his phones. Well, I got his phones, and I got his phones and shit, right? So I called his mom. I got in touch with his mom, and I was like, look, this what happened to Brock. I don't know where they sent them, whatever. So she was like, okay, well, when I hear from him, I'll let you know what's up. Boom, boom, boom. So later on that day, she hit me up, was like, yeah, I heard from him. So now me and Brock is relaying messages through his mom, right? However he was communicating with his mom. All right, so Brock told me, look, bro, I got 3 phones. I want you to give one of the phones to one of his good friends, a guy I know, another Muslim guy. He said, I want you to give him one. I want you to try to sell one. At the time, cell phones at Telfair were going $3,000. They were going $3,000 a piece. He was like, I want you to sell one and send me the money. And he was like, the third one, y'all can keep. Keep it for the Muslims in the dorm that with y'all, where y'all at. And he was like, also, I got a pack coming with like 2 ounces of ice. And he was like, look, when that pack come, I'm going to tell the people to give you the 2 ounces of ice. He was like, look, I want you to do one thing. I want you to do one thing with one of the ounces, give it to so-and-so. He was like, the other ounce you can keep for yourself. So I was like, shit, okay, because an ounce of ice in chain gang, that's like fucking at least $4,000 if you just want to get it off quick. If you really want to break it down and do it a slow way, you probably make $6,000, $7,000, $8,000. You know what I mean? And I ain't talking about no cakes and pies and shit. I'm talking about real money, no Cash App. We were working with Cash App. You know what I mean? You send your money to Cash App and then you deposit that shit into a real bank account on the street. So yeah, I really came up, you know what I mean, with that. And also he had gave me the passwords to his PayPal account because he wanted me to move some money and do some stuff. I had the password to his bank accounts, one of his bank accounts. That's how I know how much money he was playing with. I was making calls. I was handling business for him. You know what I mean? Tying up some loose ends that he had before he got caught up. Now, this particular dorm that we were in D1, D2, whatever it was, they didn't have no phones in that dorm. Like, Telfair was not a big cell phone prison. Like, I done been to prisons where it's flooded. It's flooded with phones. You know what I mean? You liable to have 20 some odd phones among various individuals in one dorm. You might have 20, 30 phones. It's flooded. And I've been to camps where, they got a few phones. You might have 4, 5 phones in the dorm. You know what I mean? Telfair was one of those prisons where you might be in the dorm where they ain't got no phones at all. Or you might got 1 or 2 phones. You know what I mean? So this particular dorm, the phones that Brock left with me, that was the only phone. That was the only phone in the dorm with 100 people. At Telfair dorms, it was 100 people, all right, or like 96 people or some shit like that. So that was a real hectic situation, bro. Imagine you having the only phone, a valuable phone, among 100 people, right? And you got the only phone. So it was a real hectic, tense predicament to be in, right? Because now Brock gone. See, Brock was a person that everybody loved. Brock, and he had 3 phones. He was taking care of people, you know what I mean? But now that Brock gone, the whole environment, the whole dynamic of the environment kind of changed. All right. So I would have Crip niggas pull up like, hey man, goddamn, the blood niggas goddamn plotting on y'all, bro. They plotting on the Muslim, bro. Talking about they gonna try to take y'all phone and whoop. I had the GDs pull up like, hey bro, the Crips. We just had the Crips yesterday come and say the blood nigga was plotting. Now I got a GD coming saying, bro, I heard the Crips goddamn trying to plot on y'all. You had the Bloods pull up like, hey man, goddamn GD. Like, it was all type of little shit, right? And everybody was trying to politic about behind this phone because we were letting people use the phone, but we was renting the phone. So all day, this is how we did it. All day, we would rent the phone out. Like, a person would pay $2 or $3 to get the phone for an hour, right? So it'll be a line. All day, it'll be a line up until like around 7 or 8 o'clock. Then we would let some of the Muslims use it. You know what I mean? Then on like Fridays, I think, we wouldn't let nobody use the phone. We just let the Muslims use it on Friday. Every Muslim would get to use the phone. So we getting, now with the little $2, $3 shit, that's when we'll take the little cakes and pies and honey buns and ramen noodle soups. You know what I mean? We'll take that So the Muslims need that, because we need to feed each other. So yeah, so we rent the phone out. So it was a good situation. I mean, we getting the food from the people in the dorm. We distributing it to the Muslims. You know what I mean? The people is kind of happy because they getting access to the phone, but niggas is still jealous and niggas is still mad. So this is when the extortion come in at, right? Because this is how I was kind of directly being extorted in a subtle way. Cause the Muslims in this dorm is a weak group. We only got 2 real shooters. All right. But also one of those shooters, the guy from Jersey, he had a little issue with me on his chest because he was mad that Brock left all the stuff with me. All right. And I would tell him, we had arguments about it. Like, bro, who the fuck do you expect him to leave it with? I'm the assistant imam. I'm like, y'all come to me with all of the issues throughout the compound. Y'all come to me with all the bad shit. So why I can't get some of the good shit sometimes? Why I can't get blessed sometimes? You feel me? So me and him had a little falling out about that, right? He felt like Brock should have left it with him or whatever. And so now he's being real distant and he not really fucking with the Muslim. So people on the outside is seeing it. They don't know exactly what's going on, but they seeing that Rakib, one of our main shooters is not really fucking with us. So now they like, is Rakib fucking with them? Like, if we go attack these niggas, is Rakib gonna step in? You know what I mean? So that was the issue. All right, now this is where the extortion come in, the subtle extortion. I had a blood guy. He was like Paru. He was, Bloods is divided into all type of different fucking sets. They got like probably over 100 sets. I don't know. They got all kind of sets. Paru, fucking Billy, Murder, Rolak, Ace Trade, Trade Up. I don't fucking know. Brim. They got all type of fucking Bounty Hunter. They got all type of motherfucking, I can't even name them all. So anyway, it was a Paru guy. And I knew he was an older guy, actually. He was like, he had to been at least early 40s. But I had knew this guy, this blood guy, from my first prison I ever landed at when I first got to prison back in like 2009. I knew him from there. So being in this dorm with him now, me and him were kind of cool even before the phone got dropped on me. So when the phone got dropped on me, he started pulling up a little more on the friendly tip. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, woo, blah, blah, blah. We would kick it, chop it up. But he would ask to use the phone. Like, hey, man, you think I can get, like 30 minutes on the phone? I like, yeah, it's cool. Give him the phone. You feel me? It wasn't no pressure. Or I might go to the yard. I'm finna be on the yard outside for like 2 hours. You know what I mean? He'll push up, hey, you mind if I use the phone while you gone? Let me hold it while you gone. Oh, yeah, cool. You know what I mean? But it was a good thing because the GDs was the main ones that was plotting on us and really was talking shit about trying to take our shit. But since the GDs see, okay, Shakir real cool with this blood guy, his name was Bud. He real cool with Bud. So we know if we try to take the phone from the Muslims, we know that at least the Paru set blood gang is gonna be on their side. You feel me? But looking back at it, it was a minor extortion type scenario. You know what I mean? Because Bud knows I'm Paru. I got an army behind me. You Muslim, it ain't nothing but 7 or 8 of y'all in here. Y'all need to align yourselves with a more powerful group if you want some longevity in this situation. You feel me? So that's how that dynamic was working. But then now you got this Paru guy. Brock was also like best friends with another blood guy named Glock. Now Glock was a big fat dude, you know what I mean? But he was a head blood nigga. He was a big homie. He was from like Atlanta or some shit. And he was a young guy. He was like 24, 25. But he was Billy. His set was Billy, right? His blood set was Billy. So Billy, although Billy and Pyru, they both blood, but these two different sets. If you understand gang culture, you know that, okay, you got bloods. But if I'm Billy and you Pyru, any blood, blood sets war with each other all the time. Pyru might be going to war with G-Shine nigga. G-Shine nigga might be at war with goddamn Rolac niggas. You know what I mean? So you got another big homie, his name Glock, and he the head Billy. Like, he was like a real big shot caller dude. But Brock was really cool with him. So, Brock and Glock had a really good relationship. So when Brock left, I also had Glock pulling up. So Glock was like, look, bro, me and Brock was real cool. You know what I mean? Would you let me use the phone for 2 hours out of every day so that I can get some money with the phone? Because he gonna charge people to use the phone, but also he gonna let his blood niggas use the phone. Cause that's what Brock was doing for him. Before Brock left and he had the 3 phones, he was letting Glock use one of the phones like 2-3 hours every day to let Glock handle whatever business he had to handle with the phone. So Glock being spoiled to that dynamic, he felt like since Brock was doing this and Brock left the phone with you, you should still let me do this. But I would explain to Glock, like, look, bro, Brock had, I know the name is probably kind of confusing, all Brock and Glock. All right, but I'm like, look, bro, Brock had 3 phones. He had 3 phones. I only got 1. And I'm getting demanded from everybody in the dorm and my Muslim brothers to use the phone. So the dynamic done changed. So I told him, look, I'll let you use the phone not every day, but every other day. I'll let you get the phone for 2 hours. That means you can get a little money, you can get you some zooms and whams up, and you can let some of your blood brother use the phone. So we was working that. Alright. Meanwhile, I got Bud, the Pyru nigga, and Bud was pretty cool about it. You know what I mean? Bud would just push up every now and then. Bud wasn't even pushing up every day. He'd just push up every now and then, like, hey, bro, can I use the phone about an hour? I want to call my mama. You know what I mean? See how they doing. You know, he really wasn't, Bud wasn't even really pressing. He ain't had to press on me the way that Glock did. All right. So, I remember one day, Glock was mad because he wasn't getting the phone all the time. How the arrangement that we had agreed, I wasn't able to maneuver it, and I wasn't managing it. It wasn't always coming through the way he wanted. Cause he might say, bro, can I get the phone today at 5, from 5 to 7? And I'd be like, yeah, I got you. But I might pull up late at 6:30. You know what I mean? He like, damn, bro, I had something to do at 5. You know what I mean? I'm like, bro, I mean, I had to do this, you know what? So whatever, it wasn't working out. So we had a little meeting with Glock, me, and the guy from New York, the other swole guy, and another little Muslim dude. And we sitting in the room, and Glock is in there with a couple of his little young guys, a couple of his little shooters. So we trying to see how can we handle the situation. So at the end of the day, at the end of that conversation, Glock was basically like, look, bro, I can goddamn tell my little bros to goddamn edit bitch out. And I go in my cell and lock my door and just tell them to eat on y'all and goddamn take the phone, bro, at the end of the day if I really wanted to get on some fuck shit. You know what I mean? And he just pretty much said it like that. And me in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I know that you had the ability to do this. So my main concern is, okay, I'm not trying to lose this phone. Cause even if we go to war with y'all, more than likely we probably gonna lose. And also, we still gonna lose the phone. And even if we do happen to win, 9 times out of 10, we still gonna lose the phone. Cause the police gonna come and search the whole dorm and probably end up finding the phone. So it was a lose-lose type situation with me as far as the way I saw it. So I told Glock, like, look, bro, we're gonna try to keep the same arrangement, bro. You know what I mean? And even the niggas, even the Muslims that was in the room was pretty much saying the same thing in so many words. You know what I mean? Cause they understood what was going on. You feel me? So I'm like, look, bro, we're gonna try to, keep the same situation we had. I'm just gonna try to do better to get you your phone time when you want it. You feel me? And so that was the situation. But after the nigga left, tell me why these fuck nigga Muslims, these damn Muslims, gonna go around spreading the word throughout the compound. Man, Shaquille, goddamn, we had a meeting with the blood nigga, and the blood nigga making all these demands, and Shaquille just goddamn kissing this nigga ass like he scared of him and shit, and whoop, and goddamn Shaquille down here getting extorted by these blood niggas and shit. But I'm like, bruh, y'all nigga was in the room. And y'all were goddamn saying the same goddamn thing I was saying, bruh, in the room, bruh. So come on, miss me with the bullshit, bruh. So the way that that whole dynamic ended up falling out, bruh, the police rushed into, somebody told on that, bruh. Somebody told. To this day, of course, I don't know who it was. Somebody told. The police came rushing into our dorm one day out of nowhere, locked everybody down, locked everybody into their room, came right into my room looking for a phone. They didn't hit nobody's room. They came right to my room. They knew exactly what they wanted. Before they even found the phone, they locked me up. They put me in handcuffs, took me to the hole. Now I got a roommate, and me and my roommate always had an agreement because we used to hide the phone in the light. It's a light fixture. But we had a tool where we could unscrew the light fixture and pull the light down, and we'll put the phone up in there, and we'll put the light back up, but we'll take some toothpaste and we'll line the toothpaste around the edges of the light to make it look like caulking, to make it look like it was never touched, right? So, but me and my roommate always had a deal, like, look, bro, they ever find this phone, I need you to take the charge. You know what I mean? Like, cause I'm like, a leader of the Muslims, so I'm kind of like somebody. So it's like, look, I can't be in the hole. You know what I mean? I need you to do it. If you do it, I always told him, I was gonna pay him $100. Also, he was getting to use the phone every single day. Every single day he was getting to use the phone, whereas other Muslims only using it like on Friday and shit. My roommate get to use it every single day. All right. So we had that agreement. So the police locked me up before they even find the phone. Take me to the hole. My room, when they found the phone, my roommate told them this is his phone. Alright? And when the police asked me, I'm in the hole, they like, man, what you know about this phone? And we found it wrong. I'm like, man, I don't know about no goddamn phone. What you talking about? And they was like, yeah, man, we already know what's going on, bro. Your roommate said it was his phone, but we already know it was yours. Goddamn, our Sarge sent us down here to get you and get your phone. And that's what the police told me. So I went to the hole, they got the phone, and goddamn, that's how that scenario played out. But that was, a subtle extortion, you know what I mean? With my experience with, I've never been just straight force muscle. Ain't nobody ever just muscled in on me on no aggressive shit and just extorted me for shit. But it was a political, I'll call it a political extortion, where it's like, okay, I'm in a tough spot, you know what I mean? I got something these niggas want. I know that they really, technically, they could come get it if they want to. So let me goddamn be diplomatic about this shit. You feel me? But at the end of the day, it's still a form of extortion. And I ain't goddamn ashamed to admit it, nigga. Goddamn, it is what it is. I did 12 years in prison, nigga. I ain't never had nobody take nothing from me. I ain't never had nobody steal nothing from me. I ain't never been tried up on no straight just bitched up tried up shit, bro. I ain't never do no gay shit, none like that. You feel me? I'm proud of my goddamn self for my bid and the way, and I still got my mind intact, nigga. Like if I don't tell nobody out here in the free world that I went to prison, you would never think that I went to prison. You don't even seem like that type of guy. You feel me? And I talk with intelligence, so people would never think like, damn, we can't even imagine you being in prison. Like it's a shocker when I tell people. But yeah, I done seen other scenario, man, with dudes getting extorted, man. Muslims, Muslim dudes getting extorted. They getting the weed in, they getting the pack in, and blood niggas straight push up. Like, look, bro, like every time you get a pack in, bro, you got to give us goddamn such and such, or else goddamn, woody woody woo. You feel me? Now I ain't never been in those rooms and heard those conversations, but I know the scenario. You know what I mean? I know what's going on. You feel me? So anyway, man, that's the story for the day. I appreciate y'all, man, for tuning in, man. Like and subscribe to the video, man. Hit that subscription button. Hit the notification bell so that you'll know whenever I put up video, man. I be having all type of stuff, all type of stories, man, that I be wanting to share. I just don't be getting around to doing it, man. Like I need to post more often, at least like once a week. I might be going like a month or two without posting no video, man. But I appreciate y'all, all my loyal watchers. My loyal subscribers, man. Y'all keep on watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, man. I'm gonna get up with y'all next time, man. Peace.